The Trump administration just doubled down on Greenland. It's in keeping with Trump's strategy of getting Greenland by hook or by crook. Vice President JD Vance announced this week that he was headed to Greenland later this week, taking on a controversial visit. Officials in Greenland have already made it very clear that they don't want any Americans to visit them at this time. Originally, the Trump administration had said that Usha Vance, the second lady and the wife of JD Vance, along with Michael Waltz, who is the national security advisor, would be making that trip to Greenland, which is a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark.
We need Greenland for national security and international security, so I think we'll go as far as we have to go. We need Greenland.
Trump has long been eyeing Greenland even before he came back to office in January for his second term. Officials from both Denmark and Greenland immediately branded this move as aggressive and part of President Trump's plan to get the island one way or the other. The White House then issued a statement Tuesday afternoon changing up the visit. The new itinerary is for both JD Vance and Usha Vance to visit the Pitufik space base, which is high above the Arctic Circle. While they are there, they will be receiving a briefing on the Arctic security issues, as well as meet with U.S. service members. In a post on X, Vance said that he would just check out what's going on with the security of Greenland.
Hey guys, it's JD Vance, the Vice President, and you know there was so much excitement around Usha's visit to Greenland this Friday that I decided that I didn't want her to have all that fun by herself, and so I'm going to join her. I'm going to visit some of our guardians in the Space Force on the northwest coast of Greenland and also just check out what's going on with the security there of Greenland. As you know, it's really important. A lot of other countries have threatened Greenland, have threatened to use its territories and its waterways to threaten the United States, to threaten Canada, and of course to threaten the people of Greenland. So we're going to check out how things are going there.
Anti-Trump sentiment has been rising steadily on Greenland, and activists there have already been preparing to protest the arrival of the American delegation. All the way starting at the international airport in the capital Nuuk to the famous dog sled race that Usha Vance was supposed to attend. But now it seems that the Vance couple may not be going to Nuuk at all. The United States has a long-standing defense agreement with Denmark, as per which it can station troops in Greenland. There are about 150 troops of the US, and American officials can visit that base at will. Foreign policy analysts are saying that they expect the Vances to travel directly to the space base in Pitufik, which is nearly 1,000 miles north of Nuuk, the capital, and thereby avoid the protest that is brewing in the capital. Greenland officials have also emphasized that they were never invited Vance or Waltz in the first place, but they have very little control over who visits the US Army base. Initially, the plan was for Usha Vance and one of her sons to watch the dog sled race, the famous Greenland tradition, in Sisimiut, which is one of Greenland's bigger towns. But the organizers of the dog sled race made a statement over the weekend saying they had not invited Usha Vance or her son to attend the race. The event is open to the public and anyone is free to attend. But a spokeswoman for Usha Vance denied what Greenland said and the organizers of the dog sled race said, saying that she had received multiple invitations for her to attend the Greenland dog sled race. Still, the White House announced that she will no longer be going to the dog sled race. Instead, the Trump administration officials who had originally planned for Mike Waltz to visit the space base, which is an important piece of US missile defense and is critically important now in the ongoing war in Ukraine. But Mike Waltz seems to have his own set of problems to deal with. He's now embroiled in this massive controversy over the addition of a journalist to a sensitive military signal group to try and discuss sensitive war plans. Now that that controversy is brewing, Waltz's participation in the trip to Greenland itself is uncertain and doubtful. So as the news broke that Vance would be arriving instead of Waltz, Greenland's government was not one bit pleased. Politicians in Greenland are embroiled in delicate coalition negotiations over who will form the island's next government. Earlier this month, Greenland held parliamentary elections, but the outcome was mixed. No single party has won a clear majority. So the party which finished first is willing to tie up with the party that finished third. The party that finished third, of course, was the ruling party, but they have lost majority. Both Party number 1 and Party number 3 want to have nothing to do with America or with Trump. The party which finished second seems to be more inclined to doing business with Trump. Some political analysts in Denmark say that the decision to send JD Vance instead of Waltz was an escalation. They choose to double down on it, massively escalate to what they feel is now a provocative show of force by sending JD Vance. Analysts have been pointing to comparisons with Crimea, the region that was forcibly annexed by Russia in 2014, where in the run-up to it, the lines between diplomacy and provocation were deliberately blurred. Eventually, Russia conquered and to this day controls Crimea. Greenland too, much like Crimea, is rich in mineral resources, which Donald Trump is eyeing. Earlier in January, Trump's elder son Don Jr. had visited Greenland. He too was not entirely welcome there. Since World War II, American forces have been stationed on Greenland. Once it was called the Thule Air Base, now known as the Pituffik Space Base. The US-operated installation in northwestern Greenland is one of the most strategically important military sites in the world. About 150 US Air Force and Space Force personnel are permanently stationed in Pituffik. They will be expected to play warm hosts to the Vance couple over the weekend.